Hello, my name is Jan Deneke. I'm the co-founder and CEO of 12 by 12. I'm very happy to join the Coming End conference, and I would like to talk with you about music, NFT, and metaverse. So, firstly, I want to discuss a little bit or explain a little bit what we are doing on the 12 by 12 marketplace, and therefore I think it's important to understand where especially me and my co-founders are coming from. So I was a copyright lawyer for roughly about 15 years. I had my roots in the music industry, and I did a couple of startups dealing in blockchain and dealing with the documentation of license chains of IP rights. So NFT wasn't a really new thing for me. But when it became like more mainstream by the end of last year, we thought it might be a good idea to actually create a marketplace that is specifically dealing with music. So what we see in the NFT marketplace landscape right now are marketplaces that are having or attracting all kind of creators, and we are trying to tackle a specific and narrow approach only for music and music relevant art. Why are we doing this? Because I think we believe that the NFT marketplace especially will be specialized also in specific genres, and music is one of the biggest genre that I feel the use case is the best for it, because the music industry on the one side is increasing the revenues more than ever, and on the other side you can see that the payouts to the artist itself is nearly nothing if you look, for example, royalty payouts according to Spotify or other streaming platforms, which means that there is a lack of transforming the revenues directly to the artist, and that's where, under our understanding, comes or unfolds the NFT the biggest power to actually create a bigger world for the artist and create a new economy for music art, in securing also the new creations and copyrights in an NFT. So I think it's necessary also to take a closer look on the target audience that we are looking at. The biggest target audience for NFT music marketplaces is obviously, I think, the music fan. But the music fan, being the biggest target group from our perspective, is not necessarily the most crypto enthusiastic person. What we can say is that most of the music fans don't have their own wallets, not are really into crypto, but are interested in supporting the fans. And what I said beforehand, are interested in actually that their proceeds are not only going to distributions, labels, or other streaming companies, but also directly to the creator. And communicating that opens a possibility to the music fan actually to support his artist. On the other hand, we have the collector itself, which is being more the die-hard fan that is kind of buying also special edition boxes and t-shirts as merchandise, and trying to get it and seize it as a limited version, and therefore getting a collective momentum in it. The last target group that we are looking at are the crypto enthusiasts. They are obviously as every person is somehow a music fan, the crypto enthusiast is also a music fan that is tapping into our target group. But I think out of experience, we can say when we build up our marketplace and we implemented the possibility to offer the to offer our audience also to pay with credit card and fiat, we could see that a majority of our users actually were using that credit card opportunity to purchase NFTs, which is a great thing to say because it tells a story that the music fan, as the biggest market out there, is already ready to kind of purchase NFTs without being a crypto enthusiast. I think if we look at the 12 by 12 offering and what we are doing is we are trying to give the music fan, as I told before, a very guided and easy way to purchase music themes artwork. We are trying always to also give a turnkey service for the artist to produce and market and sell their NFTs. If you look at the specific services that we are offering, you can basically put it in I would say like 4 pillars. So one pillar is actually the NFT creation, because right now you can say that most of the artists out there, they have an idea about what an NFT is, but they don't really understand how they can use it and what and how do they build it, how do they create it. I think the fear is sometimes higher to not create the most creative thing, and they need a big guidance in actually creating an NFT, defining the metrics behind it, defining the amount, for how much do you going to sell it, what is the content around it. Because if you don't give them the guidance, they get stuck somehow in a loop where they don't come out, where they don't really come out and never really try out that new kind of distribution form. So having said that, the creation part in creating and developing the NFT with the artist together hand in hand is a big is a service that we actually provide. The second service, I'm just calling it the distribution, is obviously so we understand the NFT as a new method, as a new tool, as a new distribution tool for music. So on the one side you have analog, you can still print your vinyl, you can put out your CD, you can put it on online platforms where you download it, and on the other side you can stream it. And NFT becomes a new distribution format where we actually offer through our NFT marketplace the possibility to distribute the music. So basically, the best way to explain it is actually the boxes, the music boxes back in the days, where you put in like a special edition with some new content, with some t-shirts into one box, and that's actually the best way to understand the NFT content, how we see it distributed through artists. So it's not cannibalizing the downloading market, it's not cannibalizing the streaming market. It's more a on top new distribution format where the artist is able to create and distribute new content. The third pillar we are looking at is obviously the promotion and marketing part. On the promotion and marketing part, it's very important that you also do a lot of education and actually attract the community. So community is key here. So the more you go out and the broader your community is, the better is the chances that you actually get it sold. If we look, for example, for one drop we did a couple of weeks ago, which was Innovisions, they actually were able to outsell their drops within 48 hours. Because we did a good marketing around it and we did a good promotion, including the fan base of Innovisions. And one part of the promotion, and let me just like jump in here, is I think the metaverse. So we see one step back. We actually have in our environment, in our 12x12 environment now added the metaverse part. So basically, you are able to enter the 12x12 metaverse, and in that metaverse, there is a room where you actually can directly stream in artists, DJs. You can create release parties, and you can enter into a gallery. Why did we do this in the very first place? Not seeing this in the beginning as a separate revenue stream. We are seeing it more in the very first beginning as a promotion and marketing tool, because it gives you the possibility to address a vast community and also to promote the NFTs that you have or the artist created directly on a digital platform, which is accessible for most of our users. And alongside, if you, for example, look at the presentation of a NFT in a simple Web 2.0 marketplace, not that it's a great thing, but it looks more impressive if you have the NFT presented in a metaverse gallery where you directly can walk to and purchase these NFTs. So the metaverse itself becomes, I would say, a promotion and marketing tool in the very first place, and then will eventually turn into a separate product with different kind of product lines. The metaverse itself gives the NFT the possibility to unfold its full power, because it's kind of the usability part what most of the people in the very first place didn't really understand. How can I use an NFT? What is it different to a download? So if you suddenly create the environment in regards of a metaverse for the NFT to unfold its usability, then you actually understand that the metaverse and the NFT are two things which are bind together, and the one can't really live without the other one. And especially in the music industry, you can see that the metaverse gives you a real powerful tool to really unfold the power of music creations. For example, if you have live concerts, you actually can stream your artist directly into the metaverse, but on the other side, you can promote and distribute via the NFT marketplace as NFT digital variables, becoming the merchandising parts for the music industry. So I'm going to talk a little bit later again about the different formats that we are looking in the metaverse, but last but not least, the fourth pillar that we are looking at 12x12 is the tokenization part. I always call it the 1,000 fans concept. So basically, it gives putting aside for now all the regulatory issues. The idea behind that is that the fan itself is able to invest directly into the artist or into the creation of the artist, if that's on a crowdfunding perspective or if that's on a direct invest perspective of the back catalog or of any kind of publishing rights. So if we are talking about tokenization of the IP assets of the artist, and you actually look at what I said in the very first describing the very first services like NFT creation, NFT promotion, NFT distribution, and last but not least, the tokenization of assets, you actually can create with that environment a full-on service for the artist that gives him the community, the financing, the marketing, and the distribution parts, which he's actually lacking of right now, in also getting most of the proceeds out of the transactions over the marketplace. Having said that, this is a great this is a great opportunity for the artist itself, but not only for the artist, but also for the fan, in knowing that he's like with every single purchase, he's supporting the artist. Let me just like talk a little bit more about our metaverse and how it actually plays into the whole role of our product. I would say like the marketplace itself is the tool where the distribution happens. The metaverse itself, what I already said, is where the product unfolds its full power, because in the metaverse we can see right now that most of the actions are moving from analog into a digital world. Not only COVID actually made it more interesting for artists to understand how can I distribute, how can I monetize my work more digital, but also I think there was a change in our heads, especially in the younger generations, the Gen Zers nowadays understand that the metaverse itself gives you and your ideas a much bigger platform to not only promote yourself, but also to find people which have the same thinking. So I think it's super important that most of the metaverses are should be not only a platform for selling, but also for community building, which is, I think, the most important part, so that people can, in the metaverse, not only show what they have, but also discuss with the community and find same thinking people in different kind of rooms. So this is all what we implemented in the metaverse, in the 12 by 12 metaverse. And I think the greatest thing what I saw when we built it was that back in the days I also used to have a club, which was a great time in the analog way, but the biggest challenges we always had was the money actually you need to spend to create a great and awesome user journey in the analog world. If you now combine that into the metaverse opportunities you are having, you actually can take the analog world but build whatever you want to build in the end, and however your fantasy, there are no barriers for your fantasy. And on the other side, there are no regulations so far, and I'm not talking about financing regulations, I'm talking about if you build, for example, a room, you need fire protection, you need all other authorities to basically allow you to do what you are doing. And in the metaverse, this is all not existing. And this gives finally an opportunity to create something which comes out of your fantasy and creates an awesome fantasy world where you in the end can build and experience whatever you want to experience. Having said that, and translating that to the music industry gives you the opportunity to showcase the biggest concerts, to do the biggest record release parties, to actually show and present the artist in the way he actually thinks it is the best for him and his fan base. So I think just to talk a little bit about the different kind of formats that we are looking at and that we are thinking down to create. One of the format for artists, which is obvious, is the digital avatar. The digital avatar gives the possibility to, in the end, create, and which is not new, to create your alter ego in a way how you see yourself, and put like new features on your personality, and actually therefore create a person or an artist under the idea how a fan wants to see it. So I think that's an awesome idea also to utilize the metaverse features. Last but not least, I think the most important part for me is the digital wearable, because it plays directly into the role of the merchandising. We can see it now already that brands are heavily moving into that space, which is obvious because, once again, if you create a product line and you want to distribute it analog, it takes a long time of testing and what is working, which materials, and so you have a lot of regulations. In the digital world, actually, you can create whatever you want to create. The production line is quite cheap, and the amount you can sell it to is immense. But not only for the fashion industry itself, it also plays like a big part in the music industry, because one of the biggest revenue pushers in the music industry is obviously also the merchandising products. And having said that, every artist is willing and wants to distribute his merchandise into the digital world. And the digital wearables give the fan the possibility also to show which artist he loves and present it to a bigger crowd within the metaverse. Last but not least, the AR filters, which is not so much like metaverse driven, but this is something which is also for the music industry, and especially for our use case, a super important tool where you create a feature which could be used like as an NFT and distributed via our platform. I think all the most important, or the conclusion around what is actually the metaverse, and I said it in the beginning, for what does it mean and what does it mean for the industry. I think the metaverse is something which gives a digital asset a possibility to unfold its whole and full usability. And having said that, you might understand that the NFT itself, which is nothing more than a ownership certificate which leads you to a specific digital asset, becomes the most important tool to fuel the metaverse with different kind of digital assets, and even and giving the possibility to identify the rightful owner of that specific asset. And having said that, I think it understands that not only for the music industry, but for every industry which is dealing with IP rights, I think it is super necessary to find a way very quick into that fast-growing market, establishing a solid NFT and metaverse strategy. So thank you a lot for your time. I hope you enjoyed my presentation. If you have any further questions, you can contact me via email. So thank you very much.